Shields up, Iron Breakers. Rurikhan here, coming at you with another video. And recently you guys might have noticed that I've played a little bit of both Skyrim and Doom in the channel to show you guys what that particular gameplay looks like on the Nintendo Switch. And in today's video, I would like to bring up the importance of these two titles for the success of the console. Now, there are a couple of other third-party titles that are coming to the Switch or have already arrived on the Switch, like Xenoverse 2, LA Noire, which is also coming or has already been released. I haven't been following LA Noire, to be completely honest. But I believe that both Skyrim and Doom hold a particular importance to the success of the Nintendo Switch. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, what are you talking about? People are going to buy the Nintendo Switch mostly to play first-party titles. But see, that is exactly the point that I'm trying to make. One of the reasons why the Wii U never really succeeded is because it didn't have any third-party support at all. The Wii was somewhat successful because it had third-party support, and it achieved some third-party support mostly through the massive sales that it was able to make. Of course, that was not going to be the instant case on the Nintendo Switch because people were still a little bit hesitant on account of the, let's call it, failure that was the Wii U, because essentially it was a bit of a failure, even though I personally still enjoyed a lot of titles that came to the Wii U, and I've talked about that kind of stuff at length in the channel because there are a lot of really good titles on the Wii U. But ultimately, everybody knows that Nintendo is able to squeeze blood out of a rock when it comes to putting their own first-party titles in their consoles. Like you're talking about the Super Marios, the Mario Brothers, you're talking about Mario Kart, you're talking about your Metroids, you're talking about your Kirbys, your Yoshis, all of the Mario and Zeldas, of course, as well. All of your essential first-party titles and the publishers that they work with for their first-party stuff, all of that is usually pretty good on their consoles, but usually where they tend to lack is that third-party support. So with the way that things perform, specifically in terms of Skyrim, because Skyrim kind of blew me away. And I know a lot of people are going to say, dude, Skyrim is an old game. It's like, it's from like 2000, when was it, 13 or something like that? No, actually I think it's even more. I don't remember the original release date of Skyrim, but regardless of that, Skyrim's a pretty old game. Yes, you are correct, but at the same time, Skyrim and just Bethesda in general, as we all know, Bethesda tends to release titles that are very poorly optimized, as the original release of Skyrim has clearly proved. And not just Skyrim, but also Fallout 4. Bethesda tends to just release titles that are not properly optimized. And I'm not saying that as a big knock on Bethesda and whatever. I realize that they're big open worlds and all of these things. Sometimes they get buggy and sometimes they cause certain things that are not predictable. But ultimately what I'm trying to get at, these titles are usually not optimized. Whereas if you've seen the video of Skyrim gameplay that I have on the channel, you guys will notice that it is not only optimized, it is running at a steady 30 FPS. It is running at a pretty decent resolution when docked, which I recently went to Digital Foundry to check out what exactly the resolution was. And it is running at 1600 by 900, and it is pretty much not even dynamic when it's docked, at least from their analysis. And I was like, what? 1600 by 900 on Skyrim? What? And it actually looks good, it plays good, and it doesn't like suffer from frame rate drops, at least none that I've personally experienced, which I found impressive. And then you're talking about when it's undocked, the resolution is usually 720p, but there it is dynamic. It scales, but it scales mostly on the horizontal. So you can go from 1280 by 720 into 800 something by 720. And I think that is pretty friggin' impressive. And I know you guys are like, oh, but on my PlayStation it looks like this, or on my Xbox it looks like this. And all I can say is like, okay, so pick up your PlayStation or your Xbox, take it with you to your parents' place and play there. And sure, you can do that if they happen to have a TV, but it's not gonna be as easy as just like picking up your Nintendo Switch and just like, boop, gonna take that straight with me, no problem whatsoever. So I believe that these two titles were very important in showing that all of these limitations in terms of hardware that people are talking about when it comes to the Nintendo Switch, the limitations are there, make no mistake, it is a form of limited hardware, but if you properly optimize your titles to a degree that it is acceptable to play them at 30 FPS and whatever, you can lower the visuals, you can do whatever needs to be done. The point here is, does it run at an acceptable frame rate And does it preserve the original experience of the game, which in my opinion, both Doom and Skyrim managed to achieve. And I know that Skyrim specifically is going to be a case of contention because a lot of people are going to be talking about, oh, but the mods. And personally, those of you who know me know that I really don't care about mods. I'm mostly concerned about, can other third-party publishers reproduce the success that, I mean, I'm saying success as in, to me, the term of success, I'm not talking about sales. I'm talking about just success as in the way that the games can be played in the platform. To me, that is a success because it is very much playable and it very much preserves the original experience of both Skyrim and Doom, which I was blown away. I was not expecting the console to be able to run those things as well as it does. Now, naturally, Doom is a little bit rougher around the edges than Skyrim. Then again, Doom did come out last year, so, you know, but still, people are hailing what the port work that Panic Button has done as some of the most impressive stuff that they have seen in the console so far. Now, while the future of the console is most definitely looking pretty promising, we still have a pretty tough road ahead because a lot of the developers have gotten used to the additional power of the PCs and even the current generation consoles. As a matter of fact, some of the developers are even saying that the current generation consoles are not powerful enough and they're holding back game development, which to me is a little bit ridiculous. To me, what really needs to be done is games really need to become more optimized. It's not just about the hardware, it is about how you develop your game, which is something that you can clearly see with a lot of video games being developed. Because whereas some developers have a game that looks all right and they're still saying, this console is not powerful enough to take my video game. Then you look at other titles like the Uncharted games or Horizon Zero Dawn on a PlayStation 4, and they look fucking amazing, and they seem to be using the hardware pretty damn well. So to me, it's all about optimizing for the hardware instead of just expecting the hardware to be better. It's all a matter of optimization. And Skyrim and Doom might as well be a goddamn case study of how you can really optimize games in a way that they can run on the Switch. Now, I'm curious to hear about you guys. What is your thought on all of this? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you all very much for watching. Remember, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, really helps out. If you are new here, subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you're always notified when there's a new video or live stream in the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next one.